going on. I wanted to start out by talking about where we are today, where we've come from, and what our plan for the future is as it relates to the health insurance. For the last 20 years, we have seen continued increase in the rates that we're charged for our health insurance. As we've grown, and we continue to grow, it's placed a lot of stress on the financial side of the business as well as your financial pockets as well. We understand that health insurance is a major factor in your decision of where to work. And so what we're trying to do long term is provide what you need in a way that we can afford and makes it affordable for you as well. So over the last couple of years, we've seen some tremendous rate increases, and we have tried, along with those rate increases, to increase our contributions. If you'll recall, just several years ago, we paid somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 towards your health insurance, and now we're paying $3.25. You're paying a fair share as well to get on the health plan. We understand that that's a burden, and then in addition to that burden, we've had to look at affordable plans to increase deductibles and increase copays, and yet the whole idea is to try to figure out a way, along with our federal government, to make health care affordable. Because we're a large employer, an employer over 50, we're held to the federal standards that require us to provide certain limits and certain coverage amounts to you, and with that we try to give you several options. Well, last year we had a good year. Last year was probably the healthiest year we've had as a company in the last 30 years. So because of the years prior, we continued to look for alternative ways. We've looked at a PEO, which would change the employer from us to a co-employer group. We've looked at consolidating all our insurance with our GAP partners to see if that would make sense. We've looked at other companies, we've looked at other options, all of which led us down the path to a decision that we're making this year, which is to change the dynamics of how we provide health insurance to a new way of providing health insurance. So rather than just accepting the rate increases arbitrarily from our insurance company and having to increase your contributions and our contributions, we made a decision this year to join a captive group. So what that means to you is your insurance is going to be the same. It's just going to go through a different form of financing. So a captive is a group of several employers who get together and form their own insurance company. The premiums that we pay go in towards paying our claims, and then they buy reinsurance to make sure that if our claims aren't satisfied by our premiums, that the reinsurance kicks in and pays the difference. Last year we put into effect an HRA, which allowed you to set money aside and allowed us to fund some money aside to help you buy down a deductible that was $3,000 down to $1,500, $3,500. It doesn't really affect spouses, as I found out when Amanda had her accident. It only helps our employees. But the whole goal in the future is to figure out a way not only to stabilize our costs, but to drive them back down to where we feel like they should be. So our goal is not necessarily to save corporate dollars, it's to save you guys long term. Now what that means is that we're going to go into this captive and mirror the program we had last year and not increase rates. Our rates aren't increasing. We're funding the same amount we funded last year. We're asking you guys to fund the same amount per dollar as what you funded. So for the first time in 15 years, you don't have an additional expense on your health insurance. Good job. We have seen costs go down to almost zero. for the employee through other captive partners. One of the guys who started it is friends with Chris Long in our Rock Hill office, and he was a company called Enchem. It was a chemical manufacturing company, and he has seen his rates continue to fall because he's taking an active role in the health of his employees, and he's asking his employees to continue to take an active role in their own health. So here's the deal. If we can improve our group health and our group results, then our rates will continue to fall. And as our rates continue to fall, we'll continue to fund what we fund, and your rates will come down. That's the whole purpose of joining this group captive. Now, in order to do that, over time, we're going to implement some certain health programs in our company. We're going to encourage those who smoke to stop smoking. We're going to have smoking cessation help programs. We're going to have some weight loss programs. We're going to have some biometric screens that are required by the captive for us, which means that each one of us is going to have a baseline test. That's going to test your blood pressure, it's going to test your blood sugars, it's going to test your body mass index. I don't really know all the things that it's going to test, but I do know that we all have to take that test. So those of us who have not gone to the doctor in a while are going to have to go to a doctor or have to have a screening that we will be doing over the course of this year. That's going to allow us to establish the baseline. From that, we're going to try to attempt to improve our group health. I would like to see us really take this and run with it. I even bought a website. It's going to sound kind of crazy, that I would like to see us either use the website as an intranet or to fundamentally change our own sites to incorporate some things like a cookbook for healthy eating or tips for walking. I wear a Garmin watch now. I used to wear a Fitbit. I try to measure my activity. I encourage each one of you to measure your activity. A Fitbit costs about $89. I personally, out of my pocket, will pay half of you to get a Fitbit. And it's the lower end Fitbit. If you want more, then y'all can pay for it. But by taking charge of our own health, then collectively we can take charge of our cost of health insurance. So I'm encouraging everyone to participate. Those of you who are not on mute on the conference call, don't do anything stupid. Or say anything about me. This is the real deal, guys. We need to take control of this situation in order to continue to provide the type of benefits that we want to provide for you. So, how many of you currently have a Fitbit monitor? Great, good job. Good job. You got to wear it.
Will you still pay me back? If I start wearing it.
I will buy you lunch.
I'll be lunch.
Listen, this is for real. We have a large group, and it's continuing to get very expensive. We pay collectively close to $1 million in health insurance costs. If you add to that the health insurance deductibles that you pay, the co-pays that you pay, we're looking at about $1.5 million in cost of health care for a group our size. That's unheard. I mean, that's just ridiculous, and we need to figure out a way to control that. So I encourage you to listen today, to sign up, to get on the program. If you're on the program, we're going to ask you to participate in a healthy solution to drive us to a healthier group. Josh has all the details about the specifics of the group plan, I'm just here as fluff. So, take it away, Josh.
I think you did a perfect job explaining, Bob. And once again, it's a long-term play with, if you've been watching the news, obviously, with Obamacare, we're dwindling
Josh,
down.
Can you come up here where they can hear you well? Thank you.
Oh,
I'll introduce myself.
all right, sorry about that. So Bob actually did a perfect job explaining that. The idea behind it is have a long range, a long-term plan to try to control cost. As you know, nothing's getting cheaper. If you watch the news and see in the news, carriers are going away. They're getting together. We'll probably have 1 or 2 carriers for the state. So the whole situation's in turmoil. So the only way that we can work to help to control our destiny, to help our employees not only get healthier, but also control cost and keep from having this thing just go way out of proportion cost-wise, we're taking proactive steps to do this. So, nice thing about it, plans are the same, pricing is the same. We have a different network. We checked all the doctors, Cigna National PPO network, excellent. It's what all the big companies use. So, we are on the large company platform. So we just have a little bit different version of it. So it gives us more flexibility to not only offer the products and the plan designs and the things that best fit our company, but also gives us a way to control cost and move into the future on a positive note. So I will hand it over to you.
Let me introduce myself first. I'm Laura Porter. I'm the new human resources person for all the Norton companies, for those of you that I haven't got to meet yet. And on the tables are kind of the plan designs and summaries for the plans. And as Bob said, we mirrored all of the plans to what you've had in the past. So it should be exactly the same coverage that you've seen before. But that's just a copy for you to review. And enrollment with this will be very simple because the plan designs and premiums are staying the same. What will happen after the meetings is hopefully everyone's signed in on the sign-in sheet, and if you didn't, if you'll please make sure you do that before you leave. And if my offices outside can email me members that are attending, so we'll have a list of those as well. But I will be emailing to each of you your individual benefit authorization form, which will look like this. And it will outline exactly the coverage you've had in the past and what your premiums have been. You should not see a change in what you've been deducted from your paychecks or compensation. And if everything stays the same, you just sign it and send it right back to me. Easy as can be. If you need to make changes to any of your coverage, open enrollment is the time to do that. Or you have to wait another year before open enrollment again to make changes to your pre-tax deductions with your medical, dental, and so forth. So if you need to add dependents, take off dependents, you want to add a new coverage you didn't have before, or cancel coverage, now's the time to do that. But we need to know about it as soon as possible. Okay, so if you'll get with me on the changes, and we may have some additional forms, cancellation form or addition form for you to fill out and get that done. The new ID cards for your plans are going to look a little bit different. This is what they're going to look like. Of course, it's still going to be a pocket-sized little ID card. This is just for you to kind of see how it's going to appear. But it will say Norton and the Cigna network on them with all the coverage information as before. We will have those cards in hand for everyone who's keeping your coverages the same. I should have those here by the end of this week so that you've got them in hand by September 1st. So now some people already have doctor's appointments planned and all that good stuff. So we are going to have those in hand for next week to give out. So if you get me back your form and it says everything stays the same, I'll get you your card next week. If you have changes, again, we need to get them done as soon as possible because then we will need to order a new card. And as you know, that can take usually 10 days to 2 weeks to get in hand. So we need to try to get that done quickly, okay? Any questions at this point? Yes, ma'am.
Well, Laura, I just want to interject that if you do want to make a change from your plan, we will give you a letter for the time being that you don't have a card card in hand, explaining exactly what you need to do in order to secure your coverage with your providers. Also, there's the RX letter, if you want to talk about that.
Okay, thank you. Winna had just said that, for the guys on the phone, if you didn't hear that, that if you're making changes and you don't have your ID card and you've got to get prescriptions or go to the doctor, we will have a verification letter for you that tells you the steps to take in order to do that, so you're not missing out on any coverage, period. Okay? Also, there will be a letter going out in the mail from the pharmacy benefits coverage, and you'll be getting those at home from the benefits administrator. And so just be looking for that, but it's great information about the pharmacy benefits, websites to go on to get more information, getting mail order prescriptions, those type of things. So make sure you take a look at that and read those materials when you receive them, okay? And again, very important, please answer my email when I send them with your benefits authorization forms so we can get those back in as soon as possible. All right, so if everything stays the same, you sign it, you send it back to me, and we're good to go, and we'll get that card out to you, okay?
I'll also say on the ancillary products with Guardian, those are the same as well. So nothing's changed on that. We actually did have a little bit of an increase, but we did not pass that on to you. So the Guardian is the same, excellent benefits, have all kinds of good opportunities for that. So none of that's changed. Laura's doing an excellent job. Our third-party administrator, who is basically taking care of all our cards and doing all the processing, everything else. Rose is supposed to be here. Sweet lady. She must be enjoying 985 traffic right now. She'll probably pop in here any moment. But yeah, so once again, to reiterate, all works the same. Card looks a little different. If you have any questions, and I say this to all our clients, just call us. You know, we do have plenty, we're all in the insurance business, we understand how things work, but things come up. If you have questions, issues, problems, Laura's here, Winna's here. If you need any help, we're happy to do it. Now, we're giving you the sheets that you can use for your doctor and to help navigate in case you don't have your card in hand. So, this is no different than any other open enrollment. It's basically just rolling out. The card looks snappier. We got our logo on there. Cigna's an excellent national carrier, and still sticking with Guardian, which is great. So,
How about the life insurance, is that part of this, or we have?
yeah, we have you're talking about, we have a couple different life options. I think we have something we do with Cincinnati that Christie does as well.
Oh,
So all those
But we
things-
don't have life insurance as part of our group program.
Yeah, we do.
Life insurance,
Yeah,
and
it's
it
still
was
the same.
I just didn't see it on it.
Yeah.
How about deductibles that you have met this year, or are you so far away from your deductible, will they pick that up?
Yes, ma'am. So, it's
So is it a
just like,
calendar year deductible or is it a 9/31
it's
deductible?
an excellent question. It's a calendar year deductible versus a benefit year deductible. And that ties into another reason why we possibly, a nice thing about what we're doing. We'll have more flexibility to clean these things up. Having a 9/1 renewal date is fine, we're keeping it the same, the way it is as we speak. But with an HRA and all these other different things, it might be nice to sync those things up onto a 1/1 or something like that, so we don't have issues and questions like that. But yes, so going from Aetna, we will get a feed from them that will show deductible credit and things of that nature. If we have any issues or questions or problems with that, we might have to get some EOBs, but we should be fine. We'll get direct feeds from them on that, so.
For the last 3 months of whatever you have on deductible roll over to the following year.
Still have deductible carryover. Perfect. So just remember, once again, literally what we did is we took the plan designs and said, hey, we want it to be exactly the same as what we've done. So the key to this, and whenever you're kind of changing, even though it's not a huge change, we're trying to keep it uniform, simple, and the same. So plans are the same, pricing is the same. The only difference is we have a Cigna network.
Well, we still have a website, like Aetna has a really great website for tracking your deductible and your costs